Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Barber Talks. Today on the chair we have Delmar, Joel, and myself, the certified barber. I want to get straight into this. Right, how did you become a firefighter?
So, started off, left college, and mum and dad's idea was I liked maths at school. Let's push me to be an accountant. It weren't really for me. I'm not really someone who sits down. I like to be up and about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I seen the fire service have an open day. Something was always caught my eye anyway. So I went down, had a look. You get everything inside what the job's about. So some of the job-related tests.
Yeah.
So like climbing ladders, see if you're afraid of heights and confined spaces, lifting equipment, running, that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can see myself doing this. So from there, I first applied when I was 19 on the old paper application forms.
Yeah.
And I didn't get through that time. And then I got in when I was 30. So about 11-year gap there.
Yeah.
6 of them years they stopped recruiting, obviously because of cutbacks and stuff and funding at the time. So that's what prolonged it really. After a few attempts, it took me about 5 attempts.
And how did you feel like, obviously going through that many attempts, did you feel like, oh, I'm just not getting in, do I just stop? Or did you were just so motivated and driven to be like, I'm going to get into this?
I was always focused on getting in. Each time I got your knock back, I was on a downer for probably 2 or 3 days. And it's like, right, let's get back on it. It tends to be like winter time, just like recruiting. So every winter I was outside, skipping, getting my cardio up, no matter if it was rain, snow, sunny, I was out in the garden.
Yeah.
Train, getting my fitness up. Obviously training in the gym as well, getting the strength work up, and then just kept going for it from there.
That's one main thing you have to have, isn't it? Strength, obviously, being a firefighter.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things. Cardio is the main one, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Them two combined together. So a lot of people do like circuit training.
Yeah.
Get a mixture of both strength and cardio mixed together there. But yeah, that's the main thing, really.
What were your previous roles?
So I was previously a prison officer.
Yeah.
I've done that for 10 years, working at various locations, started off in courts, and then went to category men's B prison, and then finished off in under 18s children's prison. And then from there, got into the fire service from there, really. Done a bit of door work when I was working in prisons as well. But yeah, that's mainly my career, security industry, really.
Yeah. How did you get into where you are right now?
So,
like, because obviously you were doing door work, you were in the prison service as well, and then now becoming a firefighter as well.
Yeah, so obviously I had a proper career in the prison service as well. And obviously my main focus was always being a firefighter. So I was always applying to be a firefighter on the side, you know, during my 10-year career. And then eventually got my foot in the door and got in. So at the minute I started off in Loughborough Fire Service. Yeah. Done 6 months there, and then I moved to Central. Done another 6 months there. Yeah. On Red Watch, and then I got a substantive post on Green Watch at Central. So all in all, I've done about 3.5 years at Central Station. Okay. And then I recently applied for Southern, which is Fire Technical and Rescue Service. Yeah. So a bit of a mixture in jobs. Got to carry a lot more equipment there, so you got boats there, and you go in like confined spaces more, and bigger RTC road traffic collisions and that kind of stuff.
So in obviously the cities you go into is just different work, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the city, you do get fires and not so many car accidents. It's slower pace the cars are driving at, but where I am at the moment, you're near the motorway, so you get a lot more crashes and stuff on motorways, and yeah.
Because people often forget, don't they, that firemen don't just put out fires, isn't it?
Yeah.
People forget that you're the one who's turning up to clear up mess, more not to clear up mess, but you know what I mean, innit?
Yeah, so I mean, you do get the not so nice jobs where you're cutting people out of cars and they could be alive or dead, you know what I mean? Worst case scenario. And the flip side of that, it could be going to get a cat out of a tree. Yeah. It is true.
Everyone's seen that in the cartoons, right?
Is that a legit thing?
It is a legit thing, yeah. So you're not just cats, any animal. So it could be a dog. I've had a dog stuck underneath a shed somehow.
No
so
way.
that's where you get a dog, a French bulldog out. Got some other jobs where it could be a horse stuck, got a few of them horse, where it's like being startled in the back of the horse carriage and it's flipped out, injured itself, so you go to them. It could be like a cow stuck in a river, that's another one, or a sheep we've had recently. Could get people stuck in lifts, any sort of chemical sort of attacks on people.
Yeah.
So it could be like a substance thrown in someone's face or acid.
Yeah.
Get calls for them. Flooding. Any sort of rescue we'll go to. Yeah.
So in terms of obviously all the roles you've been in, do you feel like your mental health is stable? Because you've had so many traumatic, not experiences, but you've seen so many things in prison.
With a lot
yeah,
of
dealt with
traumatic events.
dealt with so many things. How are you like handling that?
Yes, obviously when we go out a door, you don't know what really you're going to walk into as such. Been to a few hangings as well. That's something we go to quite a bit. Obviously it's not a nice experience.
Yeah.
But you find your team you work with are more like your family.
Yeah.
So we all look out for each other, and if you're on a down, you just talk about it with your crew. Equally, if I notice being to a job and I see someone that's an out of character, so it could be a lot more lively than what they normally are, or withdrew from the group.
Yeah.
Just ask them how you feeling or how you feeling. You know what I mean?
So in terms of obviously you say your work's more of a family, do you think that's quite normal to have in terms of like in the fire service, like everyone just talks about it, it's just normal? No, you're not hiding your own traumatic experiences.
No, very rarely that happens. We're all quite open.
That's really good.
Even with like your personal family life,
Yeah.
because we're also tight together with 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, of course.
You know, working daytime together, night time we're together.
You're spending more time with the people you work with than your actual family, right?
On your days off, we might go out on towers, for example, or we have like family days at the station as well. So we invite all our families over and they all meet each other. So it's very family orientated. But equally as well, if I notice, for example, we finish a shift, I'll even text my boss, "Oh, how are you after that job? You feeling all right?"
Yeah.
Rank doesn't play a part in it. You know, we're all the same crew, look out for each other. So yeah.
A lot of other industries miss that, don't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they work and they go home done.
Yeah,
no one's
they don't
talking to
think
each
about
other.
them little bits in between of where, you know, like you just said, rank doesn't matter. And then a lot of other industries it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And even if I was to be struggling, or anyone else struggling in our work, and the fire service are quite supportive, and you got the chance to have counselling, for example, and that's external. So people, and if you don't want to tell anyone, you don't know, and the fire service has to know. Yeah. But you can go to someone external and have a little conversation, a few sessions with them as well.
That's really good. I feel like that's really important to have as well.
A lot more workplaces need that.
A lot. Like, all the public services personally, they probably do, which I don't know about, but I think it's very important because there's so many things going on out there that we don't know about. Yeah. And it's like, it makes you think like, okay, let's say how you said, getting a cat out of a tree or going in and seeing a fire. Let's say I'm there watching you do that, I'm thinking like, is he okay? Like, yeah, you've just saved me, but how's he doing? You know what I mean? It's probably normal to you now though, you know what I mean? Like you just walk, it's like driving. Second nature, innit?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Do what you got to do, don't you?
Yeah.
That's it.
Assess the situation when it's in front of you and then get back out.
And I think your adrenaline plays a big part in it as well.
Yeah.
So you can walk into a situation, you just crack on, do what you got to do. And it's not till after you start reflecting, oh, flipping hell. You know, you start thinking about things and you start
realising what you just dealt with.
Yeah. And then, you start thinking, what could I have done better?
Yeah.
Or, you know, what, that went quite well, nothing more could have done. You know, you just move on from there.
Yeah. What's something that irritates you in terms of like, let's say if it's work or not the clientele, but like obviously the public that brings the energy or stuff like that?
So the job, I love it. Nothing about a job I hate at all. I love the job. One thing that irritates me, I'll say, is when the public are on the phones.
Yeah.
Is that when you're dealing with something and they get the phone out
Yeah.
and record?
So you get a job. There's one eye really stands out for me. So we got called out to a gas leak about 2 years ago. Ended up pulling 2 bodies out. And then I look round, the next door neighbours, all at the window, recording it. And I thought, wow, you know, my disrespect. And it kind of infuriated me a little bit, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And with that, I'm surprised there's not even a law out yet to stop people from doing that. Because even for that family who gets to see that post on social media,
it's so disrespectful.
exactly, and they've got to live with that as well. That's the last sort of memory they're going to have of their relative. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
But even for us, I know obviously on the flip side of that, the public are going to be interested in fire service and something they're not going to see every day. Get people who are going to record it. But equally, they put themselves at risk as well, particularly if there's like a car crash on the motorway, driving around and you see someone driving with a phone, filming you, and lo and behold, there'll be a crash a bit further down because they're not concentrating. So, yeah, it's one of them.
So like, I've been in a situation before when I'm on the chair and found out a person who I knew actually passed away. And someone else came to me, I was like, oh, have you seen this video? I was like, no, and I don't even want to see it. Because at the end of the day, if that was me, I don't want that going round. If I was like, passed away or something, it's just so disrespectful. The first thing you think about is the parents. Yeah, and it's just, how is someone going past like, have you seen this, mate? Like, where's the decency, you know?
That's it. For me, I'd like to see a law in the future that stops people from posting things like that.
Yeah.
I get people, you know, if there's a fire, I get it, you're not in the way, you know, something different you're not going to see. But when there's bodies and stuff like that, that's, for me, you're crossing the line.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No need for it.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
In terms of you keeping in shape as well, how often are you training? Because being a firefighter, you have to be fit and healthy, athletic, strong, you name it.
It plays a big part, yeah. So I'm training probably about 5 times a week.
Wow.
Other people won't train as much. Some
Yeah.
people probably train more than that. But I'm lucky enough on station, we get an hour allocated every shift to go and train, keep our fitness up.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a job requirement for us to keep fit as well. So if we're not up to standard, then we're not allowed to go on the truck.
Yeah.
So we are. So
that's the next actually question I was going to get onto. That obviously, does that keep you on top of your form, like that day-to-day lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, so for example, if you have to wear BA, so breathing apparatus, when we're going to a fire, your fitness levels have a big part to play in how long your air will last during that job. So if my fitness level's low and I'm breathing in more air, my oxygen level's going to go down in the
See, I didn't know
cylinder.
that.
Well, I was going to say, isn't it the fitter you are, the lower your heart... Normally, the lower your heart rate sits, the resting heart rate you have.
Yeah, so if I'm generally fit, so you're into like running, for example, good cardio, that kind of stuff, you'll find you'll last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Size plays a big part as well, so there's people who are much bigger than me in height and build. Also due to that, they're going to naturally breathe in more than me anyway.
Yeah.
But with good cardio levels, we'll reduce that a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's mad. I literally never knew that.
Mad, isn't it? It's all these little things what are a massive part to play in the overall job, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Which a lot of people don't know. You know, the ins, the outs.
Yes, I mean, 2 of you, well, a minimum of 2 people go into a fire. One of you is leading the team in, and the other one's managing the hose.
Yeah.
So you're not just sitting there doing nothing, you're constantly grafting whilst you're in that building or wherever you are.
Yeah.
And obviously if you get casualties in there and you're dragging them out on top of that, managing your hose again, you know, it is hard work. You come out, steam coming off your head from
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
In terms of your goals in like your career, where do you want it to lead you?
At the minute, I'm really happy just being a firefighter.
Yeah.
So in my previous job, I went my way up the management ladder, and I really enjoyed it in that environment. This one, I'm happy just being a firefighter, getting stuck in, learning my job at the minute. There's still a lot more I need to learn. Probably in the years to come, I might think about management and progressing up the ranks, but at the minute, I'm just happy as doing my thing. Do you know
How
what I
long
mean?
have you been a fireman now?
So it's been about 4.5 years at the minute, and that's flew by. So I'll retire after 30 years, so I've got another 25 and a half to go yet.
Wow.
So, yeah.
For anyone who's watching, what advice would you give them to keep safe?
Definitely, like I previously just mentioned, don't use your phone whilst you're driving.
Yeah.
That's a massive one. And also, another one I didn't realise I'd done a course was going into rivers and water, how powerful and how much I underestimated it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them two things really. Obviously, I know in the summer people jump into like quarries and rivers and that kind of stuff, but even shock is enough to put you into distress and
Yeah.
make you drown.
Yeah, like even, I think 2-3 winters ago, people decided to go into Watermead when it was obviously frozen.
I remember that.
And ended up
The
drowning.
lake had all, the
Yeah.
thing had all frozen on top and they'd walked on top, didn't they? And
Yeah.
just went straight under. Because that's another thing, isn't it? People don't realise if that was to happen, if you walk in a frozen lake, you go under, the top can freeze again really fast, can't it?
It can do, but it's more how disorientated you get under the water.
Mm.
If you get a bit of water, you swallow some, it goes up your nose and it sends you,
panic.
what I mean? You panic straight away. The temperature of the water's going to make you panic anyway. You're breathing, you're not going to be able to control that. You're in panic mode. And then you're going to look, where's that hole? You're going to be able to see it anyway. How dirty the water's going to be and stuff like that. And you've got seaweed and plants and rubbish at the bottom of the water. You might get wrapped around your leg and keep you held down there. Yeah.
Everything's against the odds, isn't it? Doing stuff like that.
It's like, when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, that would be so fun, but no. No.
You don't realise it.
Just go ice skating or something, man. You know what I mean? You don't want to be walking on that. Next thing you know, you're dead.
This is it. But even like on a day-to-day basis, you talk to your friends, oh, what do you do about your drinking tea and coffee and eating cake?
People don't have a clue, do they?
Sit there twiddling your thumbs waiting for the bells to go for a job, don't you? It's
Yeah.
like, oh boy, I wish. You know what I mean? You go in, you start off doing parade in the morning, so you've got a military aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
Get told where you're riding, so it dictates what jobs you're going to do when you turn up at a particular job.
Yeah.
And then from there, you go and check in your kit, make sure nothing's missing from the crew that was on before. And from there, you go checking hydrants, go into schools, go into our care homes. And recently I went into one where it was like a disability sort of school.
Yeah.
So you're teaching them about fire, what's doing emergency and that kind of stuff, giving them safety advice. Also, what is most stuff we do? Putting up smoke alarms.
I need a couple putting off for my house.
Yeah,
No, it's cool, isn't it?
Never ending. We do loads of stuff. Yeah.
What's one of the best gadgets in the lorry?
Gadgets.
Yeah.
Is that many stuff?
What's one thing you're like, okay, yo, this is sick?
It must be that feeling on the way
Yeah.
to a job.
I'd say it's probably more the feeling you get, the adrenaline pumping. So, especially when you first join the job, you're driving around, you've got the siren going, blues going, and people's look at you as you're walking, driving past. And then you get there, you got to control yourself, and inside you're absolutely buzzing, but you just got to compose yourself and get on with the job, you know what I mean? Remain calm.
Yeah.
So obviously, if I go in there or excited or panicking, that's going to have the effect on the casualties as well, I'm going to. So obviously my behaviour has an effect on theirs as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
We've come across this a lot of times actually.
What's that?
Just like your behaviour was gonna obviously affecting the person. Like so many times,
Yeah. On a normal day-to-day basis, if someone's being negative, you find out have a negative impact on you.
Yeah.
The next person that talks to you is going to, it's like a copycat effect, isn't it? If I go in there, you're more positive.
Yeah.
It's going to start bouncing off people, So,
So I've got a question for you actually. So in terms of obviously driving and everything, there's so many people on the road. Like let's say as soon as you put the sirens on, there's people who are just not moving out of the way. How do you feel about that? Because I've been on the road and I'm just like, bro, I'm out of the way. Why is the guy not like in front of me out of the way? Like, yo, ram into him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously you can't.
This is something we talk about quite a bit. It does get very frustrating, especially if we're going to someone who comes through as a fire P1. So P1 is person trapped.
Okay.
So we're trying to get as quick as we can. And the advice I'll give people is, when a fire engine's come up behind you, we're not expecting to go through red lights and put yourself at risk.
Yeah.
But Well, if we knock the tones off, that means we will hold back.
Yeah.
When we put the tones on, when the light's gone green, we expect you to just pull aside and make way for us.
Yeah.
So we can just get there a bit more quicker. But a lot of people just go into panic mode, and sometimes they slam the brakes on, obviously we have to slam ours on, and people could swerve into other people and it really look where they're going. It's just chaotic sometimes, you know. But yeah.
I can imagine that. I can imagine that. Want to add on anything? Any questions that you want to?
Just to clarify as well, on the part when you said from you first applied when you was 19 and you didn't get until you was 30. Was it 30?
Yeah, 30 I time, yeah.
11 years. Did you have to apply every year?
Yeah, you apply every year. So it's like a knockout process each time you apply. There's several stages to it. So it's the application form. After that, you have to do like your maths and English, make sure you've got a certain level there. If you fail that, you're out. If you pass that stage, you go on to the fitness stuff.
Because a lot of people will just see that as just, oh yeah, to be a fireman, I just have to be fit. Or firefighter, sorry, you have to be fit. That's not the case, is it?
No, I mean, there's a lot of like thinking involved as well. You know, you process.
Decisions under pressure.
Yeah. So obviously previous jobs, what I've done helps that as well with the environments I worked in, but yeah, there's a lot more to it than just being fit.
Do you feel like, you know, when you did apply every year, there was little bits that were changing?
Yes, each time, what in terms of
The form itself?
No, so I mean, lucky enough, there was a standard kind of application form, job-related tests, questions, and they were very similar each year. So it got to the point where I know which ones are good and which ones are kind of weak.
Yeah.
What I've submitted before, so I was used to tweak them up each year.
Yeah.
And once I knew it was good enough, it was getting through. I used the same ones. Majority of the time was alter the other one or two. I'll go from there. So yeah, it's very similar really. It's even better with being online because save it onto like your Microsoft Word and tweak it next time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Is there a social media page for what people can follow who are watching this now, who let's say could get like advice for anything that they may be concerned about, you know, health and safety wise, or, you know, just general guidance for anything?
Yeah, so if you go onto the Leicestershire Fire and Rescue page, there's loads of links on there, and loads of different departments as well. So you've got fire protection, wants to do with buildings and know about the building regs and that kind of stuff. You've got on there like the careers page, so what it's not just firefighters they recruit, obviously you've got accountants and HR people. There's a massive, you know, wide range of jobs in there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they're all on that page really, with different links on there. You've got Instagram on there as well. So yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect. Right. Delmar, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on.